Alright, this video is meant to be a quick review of any of the things you may have forgotten while you're taking your quiz. First thing on the quiz are exponent properties. You need to know how to multiply. Remember, we just multiply the numbers. So negative 15, right? 5 times negative 3. And then we add exponents. So this will be x to the 9. And then there's really a hidden 1 here. So 1 and negative 10 gives me negative 9. Okay, but the directions on the quiz say don't leave any negative exponents, so we're going to take the y, because that has a negative exponent, and we're going to bring it to the bottom. The negative 15 doesn't go down because really, again, that has an exponent of positive 1, and that's your answer. The second example, you need to know how to distribute an exponent. Don't forget about the hidden 1. Okay, that's going to give me 5 to the third, x to the 6th, y to the 12th. And then again, the directions say don't leave any numbers unsimplified. So you can either on your calculator do, there's usually like a caret button, or sometimes it's an x to the y button, or you can simply do 5 times 5 times 5 if you're not sure, but either way, you get 125, and now you're done. The last example, you need to know how to divide. Remember, we reduce the number like a fraction, so what goes into 12 and 15? The best thing would be 3. 3 goes into 12 4 times, 3 goes into 15 5 times, and then subtract. 2 minus 10 gives us negative 8. 7 minus really a 1 gives us 6. And then again, just don't leave any negative exponents in the final answer. Okay, so we're going to bring the a down, and you're done. If you can do these three, then you can do the ones on the quiz. Okay, the next thing on the quiz is simplifying square roots and cube roots. These basically work the same way. You're going to start by making a factor tree for the number if you need to. And remember, it doesn't matter how you make your tree, you will always end up with the same thing. You need to go until you get primes. So in this case, 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. And we're going to write this out. 2, 2, 3, 5, and then expand your variable, or variables in this case. And if it's a square root, we're going to do pairs. Okay, so we have a pair of 2's, and a pair of x's, and a pair of x's, and 2 pairs of y's. For everything that you circled, you put 1 copy on the outside. So we're going to get a single 2, and 2 copies of x, and 2 copies of y. We'll clean that up in a minute. Everything we did not circle stays behind, so a 3 and a 5 and an x. And then remember, all of this is multiplied together. So that's going to leave us with 2x squared, y squared on the outside, right? X times x is x squared. And then make this into 15. 3 times 5 is 15, and then times x, we just write as times x. That's your final answer. That is completely simplified. A cube root is no different. Start by making a factor tree. 2 and 20, 2 and 10, 2 and 5. Okay, write it out. 2, 2, 2, 5. And then 7 A's. You need to write this 3 in every step because that reminds you, oh yeah, I'm going to circle triples now. Okay, so here we did pairs because it's a square root. Here, the number tells you how many things you're going to circle. So circle triples this time. 2's, A's, and A's. Still pull out just one thing for every set that you circle. So we're going to pull out a 2, and an A, and an A, and then leave everything behind. 5A. So we get 2a squared cube root of 5a, and that's our final answer. You must write the 3 on the root or it's not right, and I have to take a half a point off. We then build on this skill to something like this. This is the last thing on the quiz. First of all, you need to know how to rewrite it. Okay, again, the bottom tells you the type of root, and the top tells you the exponent that goes on the outside. So the first thing I'm going to do is rewrite this as a square root, all of that raised to the third power. If you want to put a 2 here, that's fine. It'll help you remember to circle pairs. Okay, and then you can go ahead and expand that out. So I'm just actually going to do that in one step. Okay, so 25 is 5 times 5. You don't need a factor tree for that necessarily. You can expand your variables, and then don't forget to raise it to the third at the end. Now, when you're doing these, okay, anytime you see these fractions, everything will get circled. Okay, I'm not going to trick you. So if you're taking the quiz and you haven't circled everything, something's wrong. Because look what's going to happen. Circle a pair of 5s, pair of x's, pair of y's, pair of y's. Okay, everything got circled. That means we don't need to write the square root anymore because everything would come out. A 5 would come out, an x would come out, and 2 copies of y, so I'm just going to write y squared, but then don't forget to do the third power. And now distribute. Okay, don't forget about the hidden ones. Every part gets the 3. The 5, the x, and the y all get the 3. Okay, and we know we distribute, we multiply, and then again, just don't leave 5 to the third power. Please make that 125. Now you're done. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on this one. I'm going to start by writing it as a fourth root, all to the third power. Okay, the bottom number is the root, the top number is the power. How do I do a fourth root? Okay, same way I do a square root or a cube root. Instead of circling pairs or triples, I'm just going to circle 4 of a kind. That's all. Okay, so I'm going to expand it out. If you do a factor tree for 16, you'll find it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and then 8 x's. Go ahead and circle 4 of a kind. 4 of a kind, 4 of a kind, 4 of a kind. Everything got circled, so the square root goes away. We get a 2 and an x and an x. So again, I'm just going to write that as x squared. All of that to the third power. That includes the 2. That gives me 2 to the third, x to the 6, and then 2 to the third power. Just make that into 8. Right, 2 times 2 times 2, and you're done. The questions on the quiz are just like these. So hopefully watching this video helped you, but if you're still not sure, send me an email with what you're having trouble with, and I will gladly help you. Thank you.